Afro surf book that
beautiful.
I saw.
So
that
beautiful.
blew my mind in terms of understanding there is so much other history, and all we're doing right now, or all we've done up until recently, is looked at through one lens, through one Southern California or Sydney kind of Gold Coast lens of surfing, and that's all we've looked at.
And also not just the surfing itself and the surfers, the culture also. I mean, what I loved about that book was like, it was so African in its feel, like in terms of the
it's got
the
that Peter
layout
Beard kind of, that Peter Beardy kind of collage vibe to it, or Dan Eldon, I would say. Are you familiar with Dan Eldon?
I'm not, but I would rather refer to an artist, Actually, I don't know. Is Peter Beard African?
No, but he spent a tremendous amount of time there and
But this
educating.
is another thing. So we also need to be careful when we talk about representation, that also those who are telling those stories are from, it's because I feel like the danger, and I see this a lot, of this idea of representation, like, and a lot of organizations now are kind of like tackling with their reasons for existing, because there's so much kind of conversation around this, especially after BLM and Stop Asian Hate, like all these things that have happened in the last 2 years, especially with the rise of the orange guy. That I can't say his name. I can't.
Love that.
He can go away. But that he was kind of like the epitome of so many things that were already here in our culture that kind of gave permission for it to emerge and gave voice to it. But I lose my train of thought. What was I talking about?
Talking about representation of the area and
so
of
I
the
feel
regions.
like a lot of organizations
Got that
are
mind
now
meld going,
finally shifting towards the that kind of representation, but then they're the gatekeepers of those stories, but they're not also reflecting what's happening behind the lens. Or like I see that in film, it's like, oh my God, we have to diversify the talent. And then you look at the crew and you're like, there's this
For
cognitive
us, by us
dissonance.
is the best
So there
approach.
just has to be a better balance of that. And I think, so Peter Beard, yes, he was amazing.
I was just saying, because of that,
like I want
the
to
collage
also,
art, the collage art
Right.
was very of that kind of that culture in that area that he was kind of pulling from, and that's what I meant, I guess, by that.
So, but my
apologies.
No, but I think it's please don't apologize. I feel like it is a conversation that needs to be had and heard, and not. It's not a reprimand in any way. It's just I think we need to talk more about this in terms of. I think there's so much that we take for granted, and like we don't ask the questions or ask like who's telling the stories or who's
totally
point. So even as we move towards more diversity, we also need to bring that like through the entire kind of cycle.
True, but Afro Surf is an amazing book. Getting back
gorgeous.
to it,
yes,
and also shows the potentiality of what our surf culture as a whole can be and look like if we can open it up to the world, truly, and to all these
it's already
different
happening
voices.
everywhere.
Yeah.
That's great.
Let me ask you both, what's the reaction been from the surf industrial complex?
The surf industrial complex.
Or the orange curtain, as some refer to it as.
The orange curtain, that's kind of great. That's a great double entendre.
Temmy's been fielding them.
How's that been going?
Yeah, it's been interesting. We've got some great support from some companies. It's
so
interesting.
Quicksilver in there.
Yeah, Quicksilver has been really supportive, which is awesome. Really appreciate that. I personally, out of most surf brands, kind of identify with their Quicksilver women's line more so than, say, Billabong or Roxy. It's a bit more of a kind of tomboy streetwear vibe, which I really appreciate. But yeah, I think they have their kind of heart in the right place of wanting to support projects like this, which I really appreciate. We have had some interesting people reach out to us, which we're not quite aligned with, and I won't name names, but yeah, it is really interesting. And where we had not, I guess we should have maybe anticipated this, but we did not expect this kind of overwhelming response, and it has been really interesting to see a lot of big companies like really want to jump on it, and it's like
co-opt it.
Yeah, like okay, I thank you for reaching out, but we just, at the end of the day, want to keep it super independent. We want to keep it really, Mariah and I's gut feelings. There's not really much other way to describe it. To keep it honest and keep it real. And that's what we spoke to Todd, who was the previous editor of Surfer.
Todd Prodanovich.
Yes. Yeah. Can't pronounce the last name.
Prodanovich.
Anyway, Todd was really great to chat to. And just something that really rang true to us that he said was just keep trying to make a really premium product and something that has a lot of value. So that's what we really want to do.
What's the business model been like then? How
oh wow!
How do you keep
this
because because you're not taking so much advertising in, and it seems like it is being funded through you did a Gofundme, is that or Kickstarter?
We actually didn't.
No.
I
thought I saw something that there was
pre-sales on it.
Pre-sales.
We did pre-sale.
Okay.
Yeah, the business model is interesting. Printing is expensive. We're just trying to make it work. Like there are so many factors like printers, prices, advertisers. I think, our ideal situation would always just to be to find advertisers that really align with us and feel true to what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's our primary focus. We'll figure it out financially. It's obviously not we both have other jobs to pay our rent and other things. This is necessary and we just feel the need to do it. So we're just going to keep doing it until we can't.
Do you have plans on how you want to roll it out in terms of monthly, yearly, biannually, or?
Oh yeah, it's to add to the business models. Everything Thembi said, and it's also we're self-funded. We wanted to create it. We're independent. We've had some great advertiser support and great advertiser support coming up. And then it's really it's really powered by a lot of the bullshit that happened in the past. So I think that's there's a lot of obviously fire there and kind of anger and desire for something new. So that's kind of a part of the business model. It's just being tired of the kind of bullshit.
It is
a huge part of it. That's a huge part of where the energy comes from. The money comes from the readers buying magazines. I'm not. Thembi holds the numbers, but the readers buying magazines.
I bought mine.
Advertisers, us. Just the energy comes from being tired of the bullshit and really wanting to create and serve. For me, I can't speak for Thembi, but wanting to serve, just figuring out how to serve and make something I want, and then serve a community and support the community through, just celebrating them and honoring them and honoring the past.
Has there been a lot of pushback at all from certain surf demographics, or anything like that you've had to experience or endure?
Not that we know of.
Nice.
Our Instagram following, that's our primary channel, and I think the most negative feedback I got was some lady who in Australia who bought a magazine and didn't realize that it was in US dollars instead of AUD, and the shipping was really expensive. She was like, I just spent 70 Australian dollars on a magazine. I was like, I'm sorry.
It's a freaking good magazine. It's well worth it. It'll be a collector's item one day.
Exactly.
Well, I liken this, this movement reminds me of how 60s gave way to the shortboard revolution, and and then the late 70s gave way to competitive revolution, and and then the momentum generation, the 90s, and this to me is that next wave of surfing counterculturalism, and to be honest, punk. It really is that next generation taking the reins of surf culture and taking it in a new direction. So that's how I see this whole movement that you guys are riding the crest of, basically.
Mm-hmm. I think we also have. I'd love to see more intersectionality in terms of also our relationship to the ocean environmentally, because I think surfing has such a beautiful opportunity to be able to bridge all these different communities and ideas of our survival on this earth, And I think that, just the industry part of it is so singular in its like kind of capitalist model, really, which has been destroying our planet and destroying communities and, around the world, through its kind of colonialist models as well.
Well, we're in the great democratization of surf media, I think, and this is like a really fertile period, where we can have a podcast here in New York and have a say on our own interpretation of surf culture, and you can produce a magazine, and it's not a monolith anymore that it used to be. This is what's so exciting, and like when you come out with a magazine like this, it's totally like you're really helping take surfing into the hands of the people.
Yeah, I think so. And I think I was saying this the other day. We had an event at Head High Bookstore in Clinton Hill.
What a turnout that was.
What a turnout.
So awesome.
Yeah, thanks to Moscow, Alexandra, and Hoshi. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, we will always just be a vessel for what is going on and what is happening. And that is a really amazing thing. And I think, we just feel honestly so inspired by all of our collaborators and contributors. And that is really the best part of it. Just to, be a vessel, I've always been obsessed with documentation and magazines and paper objects of record and history.
Yes.
And that I think that is so important because digitally things get lost and it's overwhelming. And having a printed physical object, though maybe not the best for the environment. I mean, also digital storage is also probably not good for the environment. So what is? But anyway, the point being is that having a physical object documenting history is very important.
I mean, I was going to ask you actually, why print in this day and age? And I do feel that object is, if we could respect the objects that we do own and that we, like, there has to be more respect for even like material things. I think the problem is we don't. And so everything is trash. It's disposable.
Yeah.
And so if we can, treat it in this way that's kind of valued. And I feel like printed matter is kind of coming into that place now. I have not stopped buying books and magazines. I still love printed matter. I just love touching, smelling, seeing the colors.
And this is quality. This is something that you will put on the bookshelf and it's not going to go away for a long period.
It's a piece of art that you can own. You can spend $15 and own, your version of your Picasso, whatever it is, and some,
wow.
I mean, I used to feel like that with also like music, buying, like you can buy something for $10 and own. I mean, now digital, it's like, but I also don't value it as much. I don't, my relationship to it has changed. So
I miss picking up a CD and sliding out the CD booklet and looking through a CD booklet and the graphic design and the lyrics, everything. But and also I think having physical printed objects is also better for attention span and digesting of information.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Kim McKenzie for a second?
Oh, so good. I wanted to get her on the show.
I know she won't. I've asked her and she won't. She's like, no, I'm not really comfortable on air.
I'm going to get her.
Please do, because she's like my hero. Her
voice on Instagram is amazing.
I just lost Mariah again. I wanted to get her perspective on this.
Mariah is the one to talk to.
Yeah, because so for our listeners who Kim McKenzie is like she was Shark Girl Kim on Instagram. She was a top-rated Australian surfer in the late 60s, early 70s, and organized lots of women's surf competitions. But of late on Instagram, she tends to post surf media from the past and showing the sexism, the blatant sexism that was going on. And she's just phenomenal. Yeah. So, Mariah, can you tell us, first, we keep losing her.
No.
Because I am, such a fan of what she's doing, what she's saying, and,
And just as a record, putting it out there, she's like her own encyclopedia. She's like the encyclopedia of women's professional surfing on Instagram.
So, Mariah, tell us about Shark Girl Kim.
Sorry, I had to refresh. So Shark Girl Kim McKenzie. I originally heard about her from Chelsea Slater. Now she was working at Pilgrim, and Shark Girl Kim McKenzie is this icon of Australian surfing. We all kind of came